Smoly, that is not what I expected. And I'm just like, this is how you make one assembler. It's clean, it's nice, it's beautiful. Now keep in mind, we can't control where the movies begin or end. We'll try to keep our sanity with the help of our robot friends. Words of wisdom to live by. Welcome back to the Factory Automation Nation. We are here on Vulcanus trying to get out of here, trying to get what we can transferred over to Novice, but problem is we are currently grounded, as we have been for a little while here. We're going to be building up a rocket silo. We're going to be getting the parts together. We've obviously made some great progress in this area, really been able to take advantage of the resources, get in touch with the local wildlife. It's been nice, but yeah, we need to try to change things up. So we're going to try to keep things moving along here. In the last episode, my game plan was to start building up more of the robotics so that we can spread that out faster. Right now our logistic robots are only at 28. They're all in use and they have a lot of deliveries to be made right now. So we're going to go ahead and drop in what we can, but we need to automate some of this. First things first, we're going to need some batteries. We don't currently have enough batteries under production, so there's a couple options there. Either we can find another spot with copper and iron by building up here. I mean, sulfuric gas is like everywhere, so it's really not that hard to build and enhance our battery line, and I figure that's probably going to be our next move regardless. So if I can just go ahead and change it up so this drops a little earlier, or these two materials, and then try to keep the plastic at bay. We'll flip this the other direction. Then that should at least give us one more to work with. So I'll just try to copy this outright and we'll see if that actually works for us. Seems fine. Cool. So with a little bit of pipe action right here and a little bit of belt action right here, we should have a little bit more in terms of the battery production. And then I think we can chill on accumulators a little bit. We're stockpiling a lot. But while I do want this to kind of continue to build while we are away and able to just expand remotely, it is going to be something that I want to leave a limit so that I can just kind of keep production going. So batteries are coming through. There should be some leaking past the setup here, and that will allow us to then in turn get some for our robotics. So that's what we're going to be building out. We're going to need some chips. We're going to need some electric engine units. We do have some over here, which we can definitely take advantage of, but I also know that we're going to be using a lot of those for our setup over here. Need unfortunately 200 electric engine units for the silo itself. So it's quite possible we just need to get some lubricant cooking over here. Our fluids are looking good. Levels are high on heavy oil. That's where the lubricant comes from. So I definitely think it's possible that we can just go that route. But is there anything else that we want to do with these batteries? Is there any other place that we can route them, or is it just going straight to the destination? Really not using it in basically any of the other stuff. Some of it doesn't even exist right now. So yeah, flying robot frames, getting steel, electronic circuits, and the electric engine units together. Basically, we just need to send it all the way down to where the EEUs are going to be made, next to the heavy oil. And yeah, electronic circuits are already going to be there too. Engine units, that's going to be iron in various forms along with some steel. So as long as we bring iron, steel, and green circuits down, which is the game plan already, then we should be good. So expand the bus is the name of the game here. Now we don't, actually I should probably, now that we've had our first-hand experience about the dangers that we are up against, I do think I kind of want to mark off where this stuff begins and ends in terms of the potential dangers. Let's go ahead and see if I think it's safe. I'm going to say it's safe. And I'm going to go ahead and move it over a few here. One more to the right. Pop. Now we know where it begins. And one more over here. Yeah, that should be good. And then all we gotta do from there is just, you know, put a little warning strip. So, I think we heard the demolisher somewhere. There he is. He's not, it doesn't seem too disturbed, so we're gonna go ahead and let things be and say this is good for us. This is good. Just a little warning strip there because it does kind of peek out here toward the northern end. It's kind of easy to fall into that. It doesn't look like this is a dangerous spot considering I've built all around it, but it indeed is quite hazardous. So we'll go ahead and do that. I know there's like hazard concrete and stuff that you can do if you want to be fancy. Ooh, I have the ingredients. Maybe I want to be fancy just a little bit. Just a little bit. So I filled my inventory full of robot parts. Okay, that's more than I expected because of the 10x aspect, but there we go. You're chill, right? Mostly? No, he'd be coming much faster, I think, if he was not chill. Man, he's close, though. That's still pretty spooky. We're just gonna trust in the system. Red line means bad. Not red means probably bad anyways. Alrighty. As I was saying, we're going to be bringing this through. Go ahead and just underground this right here. Bringing south all these ingredients. There should be iron on this, so this is not exactly what I was trying to do. Let's try this instead. And bring the iron down as well. Yeah, missed these two. But we got red belts, so we can do a full underground underneath it. It all works out fine. We can always use that L shape to turn it to the west. We probably will need to. But first things first, we want to take advantage of the opportunity of making some electric engine units utilizing steel, iron, green chips. Anything else? We will see momentarily. Green chips, steel and iron. That's it. And then going along with the batteries and steel and green chips. That's all you need. Cool. So steel, iron, green chips is the main thing that we're going to be peeling off right here. So we can go ahead and say right here. Do we need to go further south? I imagine we do, just a bit more. So all comes through here. Make space for everything. Means that we have a nice little gap if we want to fit anything back up to the north. And this is really going to be the last thing that we produce in this area thanks to our current boundaries. Don't you dare. Yeah, as much fun as the repairing and living with the consequences of our actions was last time around, I do think if this happens again, for the sake of brevity, I might just use an autosave to reset things because it does take a long time to fix things along those lines. So, all right, well, this is a bit annoying. This is where we'll have to yeah, so we'll go until this works right here. Perfect. And then, yeah, he's still, man, he's close. I don't like this. Okay. He would clearly be beelining at this point. He sees, but he doesn't care. He's territorial, but he's not just a witless worm striking without purpose. Iron and steel. We can combine them together. I think that makes sense to me. And then we'll have the green circuits as well. So we'll go ahead and do my normal thing. Oh, can't because of the underground belt, though. That's a little annoying. It's more like this has to be pushed forward, which works fine, I suppose. And then these guys will be combined together here. leaving us to underground green belt there. Green belt? Obviously green circuit belt, but whatever. Key ingredients have arrived. Everything else has been pushed forward, with the exception of these green chips, which can now flow freely. Wonderful. All right, all that to say, let's get some lubricant out with some chemical plants. Technically, yeah, we can set up a system where this only is active under certain conditions, but I'm not too worried about it. I think that it'll be able to kind of regulate itself for the most part. So, one-to-one transfer, no physical materials involved, and now we get to go into engine units, steel, iron, gear, wheel, and pipe. And that can go, yeah, let's say here. I mean, I guess I could do a line of 3. If I do it like with 5 apart is basically the idea. Cool. And then bring this all the way down. Okay. So then we get to do this here. Bring them both into this. And it all combines together to make an engine unit. Is that right? This is pipes. It's the wrong way, otherwise it's good. Cool. So now we can red inserter over here and make a special connection. Let's go ahead and, oh, well, there was a reason I put it there. We do want to make sure the pipe naturally can be accessed through other means for, like, for example, blue belts, if we want to be working on that. Then we need the green chips to come on down. Not exactly like that, though. If we're putting the red inserter there, maybe we could instead do something like this. Yeah, and then we want to see, like, do we want to make a line instead? Just in case. Could work better. Because I don't really know. So the rates are important, right? So it says that's taking 0.07 per second. This is creating 0.07. So I guess 1-to-1 is the ratio you're looking for. So it really comes down to if we're actually making something scaling or if we're just doing the bare minimum, which is, yeah, 1 every 10 seconds. Honestly, that's fine. If I get a robot every 10 seconds, I'm pretty happy with that. The frame is only 1 EU, so let's do it. Okay. In that context, probably even could make this a little bit more simplified, but first let's go ahead and take the orbiter's advice of refilling the ammunition. This one's completely dry, but should have some backups around somewhere. Here we go. That one there. That one doesn't even need to be touched, does it? So there's only a few turrets that are actually active. This one's being refilled, this one's being refilled, this one needs to be manually filled, and then these two need to be manually filled. So there's just 3 turrets, 1 on the left, 2 on the right, and everything else is good. Anywho, yeah, let's go ahead and say yeah, there's 2 ways to do it. Either we have the whole belt going around, or we just do it that way, and then we can fill like this instead. I like that. And then simply after that we can, it just looks a little weird to me because of the, I mean, this obviously is completely unnecessary, but it just looks weird to me that he's just looking at nothing. So we do that. Anywho, then these will come out the other side and will be available for our robos Flying robot frame needing steel and electronic circuit. And batteries. Batteries were coming down the line as well. Not necessarily on the bus or anything, but from one point to another. We had them, we're making them. They're not stockpiling, which implies to me that we need as much as we can get here. There's no like throttling mechanism. These guys are not getting sulfuric is the problem. Okay, that makes sense. Boop. Everything's fixed. Everything's wonderful. All right. So I will bring this along the same line just to kind of keep things together, but I recognize that there's no need for me to cart batteries around to all these different locations. They're needed here and basically nowhere else. Okay, so this goes here, flying robot, takes in the batteries, guess we missed it by one. Bad. Okay. Man, they really have been infiltrating recently. It's okay, we're bringing back some firepower. So if I don't have oil for a while, how screwed is everything? I think is a question I need to ask myself. Start with some laser turrets. Here. Leapfrogging a bit here. And then we'll actually address the issue at hand. So, at the very least, our borders are secure, right? Maybe? I don't know. We've got the laser turrets. I don't actually think we have robo connection here. If I hit L, yeah. So we can't actually drop that stuff off. We can always expand the robotics network, but it does take some doing. Putting it here. And then we barely would have power over here anyways. Well, it's in construction range, right? That's what would be important. So yes, we could then make another one of these or replace it. Replace the one that's currently down and damaged, and that would be great. I was about to say that it would be great to just like be able to send out a robot soldier to kind of patrol that area, but I guess that's technically what the Spidertron does later on. I wouldn't know. I've never built one. All right. Well, that's oil. Robots will address this slowly. And, you know, when it gets there, it gets there. Wait, why are you turning around? That's, I guess he was trying to get here? No, why would he turn around? That doesn't make sense to me. He ran out of energy, so he's like, oh, I gotta take a break. Oh, man. Clock too many hours. Need to recharge a bit. He'll get there. Could have just finished the job, but you know. And they skitter off home. They're like, yeah, we did a good job. Now all this stuff gets automatically replaced. Assuming that we have green pump jacks in our system, which we only have a couple. But yeah, pump jacks is not usually the kind of thing that you would want to automate, right? Steel, iron, gear wheel, electronic circuit, and pipe. Got a lot of that here. But putting it all together is kind of a pain. Steel, iron, gear wheel, electronic circuit, pipe. Gotta be something like this, right? Yeah, so if this is... Because here we have iron gear wheel pipe, and then we have steel and electronic circuit. This has got to be the best area I can make for it. And we'll just, you know, see what we can come up with off the top. Okay, so this is in range of both. And then we just need steel, which is nowhere else, and is being routed kind of in a weird way here. I don't really want to create more logistical nightmares. So I could always do the requester thing with steel and go from there. Assuming that we have blue chests available. Which it looks like we don't. Lovely. The nice little tricks of not being present and handcrafting being banned from the planet for a time. Yeah, I just want to make this quick, so let's go ahead and find a way to get steel down here, even if it does look a bit ugly, dumb. Let's try this. All right, so we're going to do this instead. Then we're going to underground here. This is being used, so underground here. I guess to then peel off this and put in some stuff here, which is not bad. All things considered, this is going northward, so we'll do this here, and then that will allow us to then say, let's go south again. And with a red chest here, we are now making replacement pump jacks. Awkward, but whatever. And you're missing material. Who's missing material? Vulcanus is missing material. Head is spinning with so many planets. Can't wait to have like 5 of them. Alrighty. Where is that actually? Oh yeah, I tried to swap this from steel to red, so I could just get plastic in my inventory for free. Clearly that is not currently in the cards, but can be adjusted rather easily. I won't worry about it for this second, but next time I make a red chest, I'll drop it in. For now, we were doing this. We got the green, batteries, and steel. The heck are you? What the heck are you? Man, I will look away for 2 seconds. I am completely lost. Okay, I think this was just like I was going to put it at this layer, and then it ended up being at a different one. Yeah, unexpected interruptions can certainly cause you to like not take a snapshot in your brain, like just lose the checkpoint entirely. We're here, we're doing it. This goes here. And we just need to then do something more like this, this, and this. Great. Everything is perfect. And we'll make this underground so that this can also then feed into here, which will allow us to then turn the robos, or the flying robot frames, into our construction robots. We actually need 1 more space. My bad. Perfect. All right. So that's going. That would be for construction bots. Obviously, we also want to try to get some logistic bots. That would also require some red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the blueprint of rotating the bus, which I believe I did blueprint somewhere. $90 turn. Okay. Just wasn't really looking at it. Okay, and we'll need 2 extra spaces to the south, so up 2. And actually, I think I could just use that again, right? Same thing, just less bits. Cool. So with that in mind, if I wanted to try to get some red chips over, I'd have to do it before all this because it's not going to work elsewhere. Yeah, I think here's going to be the best bet. And everything else can go south. Beautiful. More like this is what I had in mind. And then similar to what we just did over there, we can do a setup here that will take from here and red inserter from here and do the logistic bots. And then from there, we slap down a RoboPort right here. And we put them right into the network. Beautiful. So half the time, the frames will go to construction. Half the time, the frames will go to logistics. They've got the chips they need. Everything's wonderful. Always possible that I could get a cleaner solution, but I'm happy with it as is, and we don't really need this space for anything else, according to my current game plan. Destroy the boulders. Okay, now it's a horizontal bus, but going right to left, which is a little weird, but it'll all work out. You know, the ideal, I think, is like a big old rectangle going around things, but obviously there's a lot of cliffs here, and we just cleared out this area to be used properly. So let's use it. We now have robots. We are still good on heavy oil, which is great. It's going to be slow going, it looks like. It's only going to be every 20 seconds that we get a new robot. At the end of the day, that's going to be okay. We'll get them in, and actually just added a bunch to the system, which is great. So I can go ahead and drop this here, as well as a half of those construction bots. I'll get rid of this stuff. So do we not have trash slots, or are we just all the logistic bots are taken right now, right? Yeah, they are. Okay. So we do want to be making solid fuel, one of the next key pieces for our rocket parts. Of course, we want to get this processing, this rocket silo online, and I believe we will very shortly. The biggest thing is bringing blue chips, which should be in a red box. Yeah, they just take some time. So, bring the red box in. We're going to be... I don't think that sentence meant anything. Sorry about that. Yeah, so what are we saying? We are going to be making some solid fuel. It's a very easy recipe. It's going to be solid fuel from light oil is, I believe, the most efficient option. And you just light oil into chemical plant. No big deal. As far as production count... Oh, wait. Then we want to turn it into one more thing. We want to create the rocket fuel, which is just right back in with the light oil. Another assembling machine this time, though. Okay. I've done this before, but good to get our little reminders in. And I imagine we can just take it right out of here. So, run the line, if I can hold my mouse straight. And then, yeah, we'll want chemical plant into assembling machine. And these will go... Yeah, I'll just do 4. I like the evenness of 4 for sure. I don't like that there's a tiny little gap in power here. That bothers me quite a bit. And we'll kind of just pass that problem down the chain. Surely we aren't building stuff there anyways. Not for a bit. Actually, now this is the best network of all time, because there's just enough offset. Alright, can y'all... Where am I... Oh, this is a different one. Jeez. Okay. Well, we see the flaws. We assumed our borders were protected and safe. Clearly, we had another thing coming. So... big electric pole over to here. Not sure if this will be alive to provide it, so let's go ahead and just bring one here. Just in, actually, this is going to be the way of trains and stuff too. It's just a lot of little things. Wrong planet. All right, do this thing here, and then yeah, just do a setup right here. Perfect. Cut out that one entirely. And now we're in construction range to then provide laser support. But we have no power, so Good thing we automated pump jacks, because clearly we're going to need more of them. It's wonderful. Maybe we could even get a radar over here, huh? So how did... what? They're just, like, around. They're just here now. Didn't used to be. If they snuck past this line, potentially from this... and this line, like, I don't actually know. Either way, their days are numbered. Let's go ahead and fix this. Nope. There we go. And just do 2 of those, because whatever. Now, this goes right into these summoning machines. We do not need to stockpile it. And these summoning machines can get the... Why is that guy got 2? That's not how it works. Okay. If the ratios are wrong, though, I guess I technically need to balance it. Let's see, 1 per second and half. So 1 can supply 2. So, in fact, we don't even need that many, because we can just make 4 of these supplied by... Messed up again. Pink. Chill, 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 chill. We're friends, we're friends. I'm just borrowing the tungsten that represents your body. We insert a religion out of it, it's great. Alrighty. This would be red inserter, but yeah, it's not a fast rate of production, so would be no harm. But now we have a big old power pole here. Okay, new plan. Medium electric poles. You don't see me like standing for medium electric poles all that often, but I do believe it's in order here. This guy inside of it? Good. So I just need to find a compromise there. Good. And yeah, rocket parts. Bottom line, rocket parts. Rocket fuel. We can put it in a box. We can... It stacks very low, I believe. Only like 10 per, so... This is just in case I need to request it or get it. Actually, this is just for mostly for my personal logistics for later. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. We're not... No. Sir, sorry to confuse anybody, but we are not here. We did nothing wrong. We did not violate the... Oh, gosh. We're still violating the ceasefire agreement. Oh, God. Draw a line in the sand. It's all good. It's all good. Okay. So. No longer aggroing worms of destruction. He's chill. I don't even think the belts necessarily do that, but not something I want to mess around with either. All right, so we have purple, but not at a massive rate. It was kind of impromptu. But there's really nothing else for us to be working on, so I guess it is going to be some inserter capacity, and then we're waiting for our next big thing, huh? Oh, we do have steel and mining boosts, which are kind of nice. They do cost 1,500. Sure. Yield means more resources out of nothing, so I like that. Can I get that twice? It says 3 to infinity. Is it just like the next one's 2,000, or I don't know. So yeah, but of course steel is nice too. Let's do this twice, and then this once. Okay, cool. Yeah, infinite techs are kind of crazy. You can get so many good resources if you just keep on building that one up, huh? Alrighty, so we'll just keep this going like that. We are automating substations, so it shouldn't be any trouble to get that going. Isn't going to be necessarily in line with this one, which is a bit annoying, but it's okay. More importantly, we can keep sending this stuff up the line and figure out what we want to do with it. And this will be basically where part 1 of Vulcanus ends, and we'll have to see where and how and in what ways we expand it into something much bigger. Surely we have some entities we can use. So there are a couple things I was going to drop in the box. One of them was red boxes. There is no red box. So I'm just going to drop a random one. Whatever. And in that red box, I put other red boxes. And some radars. Cool. Yeah, I probably need to... Before I leave, I probably do need to automate all the different boxes, chests that I'm going to be using, but I want to get at least the silo cranking out some supplies to the orbiter before we make that happen. Still good on power. We are now good on the rocket fuel. Which is currently going in a box, of course. But do we need more? How much rocket fuel did we put on Novice? We didn't really have any issues, but we could have also been producing a lot more. Looks like about the same. I'm almost jealous of my old builds. Man, maybe I should just... Sometimes I copy my old stuff, especially when it's like in the early stages, and I'm just like, what? This is useless. I have to make 17 changes to make this viable. And then sometimes it's just clean, so cleaner than this. That's okay. Try to do things, have new opportunities. So let's continue onward. We are going to be bringing in our main pieces here. If you want a refresher, our rocket parts will be made of 3 main things. They're going to be made of the low density structures, the blue chips or orbiter. What you doing? Feel like I could probably just give this guy a friend. And that way he doesn't whine so much. Like, these guys are chill. But then it would destroy everything. Which I'm oddly okay with. Oh, but I just literally, it would have already built by now if I had that option. There we are. It's just the wrong type. You see, we don't have blues. We have greens. And he's all loaded up, and we're happy. So, this guy's currently not getting anything. I really don't care. We're moving on. We have our presumptive, I think is the right word. Rocket fuel coming through here. All our space stuff is going to be over here. So let's go ahead and just send it across, or should it just cross the line here? Maybe just that. Keep it simple. Okay. And next up, we then have blue chips. We have the, hopefully enough. I could definitely see myself needing more, but for right now I do have a pretty solid production of the low density structures. which will then need to pass through its own path. We're going to go ahead and say, why is that in all those chests? I guess it's for a buffer. So we can always do something like this. Really, you want it? You don't want it to buffer like that, right? So when it's available, you don't want to be using it. It's more like when this is empty, that's when it slides in. Guys, chill. It's fine. Surely it's fine. We gotta get back home. We gotta blow up some biters. Alright, so what I was saying is I would rather this be like a setup where they merge in and input priority is left. The issue is if they're on opposite sides, then that priority thing doesn't matter anyways. So you still have to kind of do a weird thing. Like if I do this, it'll be on the left side. Cool. Okay. So, and then you can turn it around and it's not going to take from there necessarily, as you'll see potentially. But yeah, we can just send them through here. Yeah, so watch this. You'll see this guy's not moving because this guy's full. But when that empties out, then the buffer chests help out, which is cool. Okay. Got 1, got 2, got 3. Turns out we could probably just move it the opposite direction instead and be better off. So we're going to do that. And say you can go underground here. And then delete this. And actually, we'll do this, this, and then this one as well. Because they're just going to go to this guy first, presumably. Do we have a count? Okay, so I had 6 stacks in mind here. So we'll do that again. Oh, perfect. Copied it already. And this is slightly off. I guess I thought that I was doing something different. There we go. All right, and that's the third ingredient. So those are the 3 pieces. How are we looking on the actual silo itself? We got 1 silo, and we are needing 200 electric engine units to make the last one. This guy's taking his time, it would seem, to finish up that job. We do have a lot sitting over there if we just need to grab them and put them in. Is that really just all we're gonna need to do? We could go to novice very soon if we just absolutely had to, like, drop everything. Obviously, we want to set it up so the orange goes nicely, the science and all that. But if we had to drop everything, we could actually get back to the planet manually in probably 15 minutes, maybe. We'd have to set up the space platform defenses again, because I think those have been downscaled quite a bit. But you see here, we have the essential components for space stuff. So, in theory, we're just about there. And then, yeah, we can just reserve the space for silos. Just all this whole vertical line, basically, as much as we need to. And go from there. We're doing it. We really are doing it. Okay. And power's fine still. Dipping a bit further than I'd like it to. So I can go ahead and just do a quick little copy paste of a few of these. Let's see. It goes all the way to there. Perfect. You just do this again. Do I know if it's a good ratio? No. Do I care? Also no. We do need to then put in this guy right here. I don't like seeing that. Oh, fire. It's just fire, guys. It's fine. How we doing on the concrete? Building it up, but no reason to really force the spread. This guy here has all it needs to make our second silo, and I think that's good for now. Yeah, I'm okay to just request no more. And say we are good. It looks like we do need a little bit more electronic circuits, or the electric engine units. But like I was saying, I believe there are plenty right here. So I can just pull this. Big drills. What do I actually need? Oh, regular electric mining drills. So I'll need to automate that for sure, because I do want to keep big drill production going and ideally load them up onto the rockets. So that means we want to make big drill, iron plate, iron gear, green circuit, none of which is here. Ah, this is fine. I just need regular iron plates and we're good. Yep. We'll take the opportunity here. We're about 46 minutes in. We've made some good progress. You all need to take a little break and stretch, walk around, check your posture, get a drink of water. I think it's important to remember that the factory will grow no matter what. But the most important piece of the factory is the engineer. That's you. So if you're watching, playing, whatever, and you have not checked in with yourself, I would recommend doing so, because that's how we stay active and ready for the next thing. Ready for devourers to run through our entire base. Get that out of here. Okay. So we, I guess, just want a red inserter it here. And that would mean we could even bring it down one to make it just perfect. Bam, bam. And now you are electric mining drill maker. Cool. So now that will automatically make that. Do not want to be holding this in my inventory if I can avoid it. And then, yeah, just grabbing a few more of these on my way out will always help. They are currently in my trash slots, which is not ideal. Let's go ahead and just pop this bad boy in here. Grab this one as well. Logistics, you are failing me. Please stop. It's probably a bunch in logistics now that I can just grab from wherever in storage. But I think they would have been pulled by the requester chest anyway, so maybe not. 82, chilling somewhere in this yellow chest. Cool. And that should basically hit our last requirements to make all this work. That is for a third silo, which I'm not even sure I'll be using, but doesn't hurt, right? There it is. Pull these. Some good stuff in these chests. Sometimes you just dump. It's like 99 of those circuits, so it's kind of huge. But that's okay. And we're going to go ahead and drop off a few more of these. And say, with just this last little bit here, we are on our way. At least I think so. Like I said, these things take some time. chasing down one little engine unit. That's not necessarily the make or break difference we're talking about here, but never know. There it is. Cool. These apparently take a stack each, so we're going to go ahead and turn our logistics back on and try to clear out a few pieces of excess here. And then, yeah, grabbing our lovely rocket silos. How big these things are. That'll work. So we need 4 slots from here. So but frankly, we could probably just do some symmetry here. I think this is about the same. That's how you guys measure things, right? Wow, not even close. So we'll go ahead and ring it just one to the right. And it's great. Boom. Boom. And soon to be another one. Yeah, it's all ready to go. Nice. For some reason I thought there was a third. Is it? Yeah, I guess that was the second one. I'm just crazy. Nope, I'm happy to have 2. Moving on. This is not going to hit the inserters, unfortunately, so that's kind of annoying. Let's go ahead and reestablish that a bit. I had a weird diagonal. Alrighty. Yeah, you can't do like perfectly clean lines. I guess we just combine these together. So like if I did this, for example, which means this entire, a lot of things could have been different. It should have just been, you know, one of these here and then clear out all those, but it's all good. So yeah, now you can just do like the red or a red-blue, which would probably be the red-blue. And reverse that. And blue. And then we'll vertical flip that and put that here. Cool. Ta-da! Outer space is now accessible. All right, so it's going to be important that we create some more automation. We're also going to be needing to use this back area as a way to supply critical things, like the big things that we want to bring over are going to be the orange science packs, the big mining drills. I'm not sure if they can be crafted on another planet. They crafted on Vulcanus. Okay. And then foundries as well. Both of those can be used, as far as I understand, at different places, but they can only be crafted on Vulcanus. All right, bro. Chill out. We're doing the opposite now. Just fire, right? Not fire. He didn't like my border. I just was trying to put up a fence, dude. The HOA said it was approved. You don't have to be like that. All right. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and Send our orange juice down just below this red chip line. I think, honestly, let's just do this, do the quick way. And yeah, send it on the opposite side here too. Don't really want that to happen, but it happens sometimes. And suddenly our inventory is starting to become a problem. There's the last rocket silo. Where'd that guy come from? Doesn't matter now. Through the wreckage of the turrets that fought as bravely as they could. And then, yeah, send the juice across. Okay. Here we are. There's a few ways I can do the logistic request system. It's interesting to have those options. I think for right now, I'm just going to do the blue-red as well. And I wonder if it's set up so that it'll just autofill it. Okay. I think there's like logistic request, automatic request for the space platform. Automatically requests supplies from the local logistic network to fulfill requests from space platforms in orbit. Yeah, there's got to be a way to actually set up a clean system of which cargo is going where and when. And I thought that that could be related to demands made by the space platform itself. Auto request missing construction materials wouldn't necessarily help. I don't know, I'll have to think about that a little bit more. I think there is definitely a way where you can tell it like which rockets to send or which items to put into the rockets. But for right now, obviously, I just don't have that set up. So I'll think about that. Probably set that up for next episode if it is indeed possible, which I believe it is. But right now, let's just get the juice in there. Send it up. We're going to need space in our cargo as well. Maybe we could make another cargo bay. Has to attach directly to the space platform hub. There's a lot of stuff we need to send up there. The important thing right now is that we are going to be lacking blue chips and need to be making more. Making more nonstop. One problem is that this chest was buffering them and is still dissatisfied with how many we have. How many does it take, actually? It takes one, but like... Oh, we also want to put the productivity modules in here. That's very important. Okay. Yeah, that's huge, actually. We got to do that. So, before we... It's kind of good that we're buffering the blue, because otherwise we'd be wasting a decent percentage of them. But, yeah, let's go ahead and make some productivity 2s. I believe we're on our way to figuring out how to make productivity 3s pretty soon, but right now, what we have is great. It's all good. Light oil, despite our new setup, is still cooking nicely. It's going down the line. I guess I'll give our neighbor a little bit of breathing room since he seems discontented with what we have. And then it'll all be great. Yeah, I mean, I can manually load for now, but I do want to get a setup where I can like be automatically be sending big mining drills and foundries over instead of just like grabbing them from boxes. Speaking of, what's going on here? Why do we just have boxes here? I'm sure that was necessary at some point in time. So how many can I send in one rocket? 5. Okay, good to know. Currently at our cap. I mean, that's a lot of foundries, though. You know, definitely not as much as we're ever going to need, but it's a good starting point. Yeah, you can always do, like, requester chests and stuff like that if you need to, but... all my foundries go there. I definitely need some on hand. Let's just keep 10 on hand for ourselves. Whew, okay. Productivity modules, still going to be taking a little bit. I'm actually going to take a moment for myself and recollect my thoughts and get a drink of water, and then I'll be back at it too. In the meantime, if you feel like you're having a good time, enjoying either playing alongside or just watching the factory grow, then I would highly appreciate it if you were to look down below and see if you are subscribed to the channel, and feel free to click that if you do, or to like the video, or to leave a comment. I love discussing details about at least stuff that I've uncovered so far in Factorio Space Age. Don't really want to talk about the planets I haven't been to. I don't have much to say, but otherwise, yeah, I'd be happy to chat with you guys, and love to see your replies and feedback. So, yeah, for now, I'll just take a quick minute and be right back. All right, we are back, and I did get a chance to take a look at one thing on the side here. We did get some information a while back on space platform and orbital logistics, and it is able to kind of map out the full system of how this can work. So what you can do is basically have a request set up on each of the 3 different destinations in order for materials to be transferred from one place to another. It simply taps into the logistic network whenever you put something in here. So it doesn't even necessarily have to be loaded in manually like we were kind of planning to. You easily can just have robots going back and forth. I'm curious if it's better. I guess the concern is that it would just overload it at a certain point. So maybe you do want a setup where like you basically can put a roboport right here and a bulk insertion of the science packs. I guess we can just throw these on here for right now. But yeah, and then that'll essentially allow you to rapidly transfer from one location to another. So I'll go ahead and put it right here, and then, you know, they can kind of figure it out from there. If we just bulk insert into the red chest, and then we are able to, well, the logistical robots will come in when they need to. But yeah, basically we'll have it set up to receive automatic requests from space platform. The space platform floating above, which probably won't be the orbiter, but we'll see, will then be requesting the materials from Vulcanus specifically. You can even like set the destination here, and then yeah, we'll have the cargo landing pad thing on Novice, then requesting it to be dropped to Novice, and then we'll just set a route between the two, which will have to be pretty infrequent because we still haven't figured out how to get consistent water supply over up top so that we can get a lot of this thruster oxidizer and etc. But you know, it's a good start. It's a good start for getting the pieces together. So we'll go ahead and you'll see the rockets are finishing up here, and we got the parts made, but we do have some issues with the blue in particular. I want to expand our blue. I want to get some more out of it. There's a few ways we could do that. We could get into assembling machine 3 and upgrade all that. I think that's a pretty good idea. And then we also want to, let's see actually how we're doing. Productivity module is still kind of low. Go ahead and just keep on loading those in when we can. But yeah, I think the other thing would be, yeah, expanding our blue, increasing its rates with the assembling machine 3s, and then you could, module and beacon it up pretty heavily, or you could just go the route of expanding and scaling it into higher quantities. So we'll play around with it. For right now, I think making modules might be a good thing for us here. We got green, red, and then red, blue. So if you have green, red, and blue all together, you have what you need to make that happen. And so I'm kind of curious what we should be doing at this stage. We're no longer taking it off the line, so it's going to be filling in. I think we can just clear the buffer for now. But yeah, we do in the long run need to find something better, right? So maybe I can grab a few stacks for myself to kind of kickstart some things. And yeah, that's a real trick, is if we are utilizing this blue and it comes right off the chain right here, do I need to split it off into somewhere else? And I think we might. So let's go ahead and just do this. Do I want to prioritize right or just do it even? As long as we're not pulling it too frequently, then I don't think it will actually cause problems for us to have this extra line here. But yeah, we need the green, the red, and the blue to flow together in order for us to get modules 1 and 2 for really both different kinds. Productivity module and the speed module, if we're trying to do the beacon stuff. Beacon would then be green, red, copper, and steel. So those are the kind of the two things that we haven't really gotten into at all. Not even much on the other planet, but it's definitely not here. So I think that would be a good place to start. So we got the zone here. I'm going to go ahead and start with this, building out that way. And we do have to watch our inventory as well. I wouldn't mind just dropping this rocket fuel into the containers here. That way they have what they need. But yeah, so looking all right. That's going to be our starting point for red. We could also do the thing where it combines with green and then moves. I don't mind that too much. More like that. Could be fine. And then it just needs to meet up with blue. Let's say over here. And then copper and steel are the next two, which actually works out perfectly. Wow, absolutely perfect. All right, and we'll combine these together as well, I think. That sounds good to me. I'll do it over here. And there you go. Cool. All right, just clear some inventory stuff that we definitely don't need at this moment in time. And efficiency modules. I made a bunch of these for something, and now I can't remember what. Was I just really worried about the power structure at that moment in time? And now it's like, whatever. I mean, it doesn't reduce speed, right? It just, it's purely positive. So if we're not using the slots, then I figure we might as well. And it's not like we're worried about the productivity of our foundries. They're just consuming lava, or they're consuming the... I'd say these things in particular, like calcite's not going to run out, so, well, knock on wood, but yeah, I would go ahead and say this is a good starting point of just reducing some electricity costs. So now instead of, well, not even read, I don't know how to even read that. 500 kilowatts minus 80% equals limit. I guess because we're reducing it by, well, it looks like 90%, but I'm not sure. Additive, multiplicative, there's plenty of math involved. We're just going to keep it moving on. Well, another thing I wanted to do is go ahead and improve the decor a little bit in this space. Since we're working around it a lot, we can go ahead and just, can I just expand this a bit with the plus on the numpad? There we go. Let's say down to there. I want the map. The map allows you to kind of use the WASD to map it out better. you know, just as a starting point for making things look a little more industrial, I suppose. Not that the underneath the building matters that much, but, you know, we'll start with that. We can go and expand from there. Oh, and yeah, the roboporter here is not necessary, but it will, like, speed things up when the robots run out of energy and need to recharge. And yeah, you could technically do the same thing where you put, like, the... Oh, like a buffer chest? This is where a buffer chest would actually work out pretty well, I think. Because what this does is it requests items from the red providers, but it's still available for request from the actual requesters, in this case, the silos. So I think buffer chests is actually the key here for the two other items that I mentioned were specific to dropping a bunch of blue on the ground. Okay, so one thing I realized a while ago, or more recently, I guess, is there's something in my inventory that I'm not using anytime soon. I've had this the entire time I've been on this planet. Rail ramp, rail supports. I was told by the Factoriopedia, or whatever, that that's the only way to walk on lava is just have the railways. It doesn't work the way I thought it did. Did not need to spend like 4 rockets or more getting all that loaded up. Did not need to allocate inventory space for it for this amount of time, but here we are. In fact, nothing train related really needs to be here right now. So go ahead and just drop off. I guess these are already clear, but man, that was, yeah, not necessary. Okay, I got the green chest somewhere. There they are. We go ahead and we can then request the foundries as much as we can really handle, and then the same thing for the big mining drills, so they can be nearby and offloaded as needed. So that'll be really nice. Does that mean we want this to turn into green? If they're ever in the logistics systems, but they shouldn't be. So we'll just leave it as is for right now. We need to get back. We know those biters are going to start biting pretty soon, so let's go ahead and get back to what we were doing. Some blue split off here, meeting up and making some modules. Always fun. So we can go ahead. And also, I think I was crafting a few level 3. Have not really used them yet, but level 3 assembly machines. Did I not manage to do this? I swear I thought I started this, but never know. All right, so maybe I just said I'm going to automate it and make it easier, but here we are. Level 2. Okay, then we have the copper and steel, which goes into the beacons, right? So we don't need that right now, which gives us kind of a framework to work with for 3 different constructors of level 1 productivity module. Then we'll do that again. And we do this here, but we want to change it up. See, that's not actually ideal. We want to do it more like this into this. And change this to blue. Level 1. Okay, and keep it going. Recipe should be the same either way. We're making them. And then these let's see, the crafting time of a level 2 is, so these come out 0.05 per second and are consumed at 0.1 per second. So basically for every 2 that you have, you could be making an extra one. Does that change things? Kind of should. I think what that means is that we should be bringing this further south and building on 2 opposite sides. So what I'm going to do for now is I'll clear this out, And then what I want to do instead is this can go straight through. I'm just going to give myself a little bit more space on the southern end here. To hopefully have enough space. Definitely something that I should be just checking instead of hoping, but here we are. So my hope is then that we can instead do something like this on both sides here. Or we could do one side for red and one for blue. Would probably be better, right? All right, we'll do it that way. And then... yeah, we'll just... do the same exact thing here. And run it through. And other than a little bit of an electric pole issue here, we are clear to then continue to expand. That's all the level 1s. Chill out, Jerry. You big, slimy rock. Yeah, that's the weird thing, is like they're made of tungsten, so they're made of like metal at their heart, and they're like basically the lava, something about like the lava, the volcanicity of Vulcanus makes it basically turn rocks, bring rocks to life. Living stone, earth elementals, I don't know. It seems interesting, that's for sure. Okie dokie. So, all this is coming out. Now we want to then, I think, just run it with the blue, or do they need red as well? Let's see. Yeah, blue and red for the next part. So at this point, you want to filter out to just the advanced circuits, which of course we are lacking a little bit on supply, but we'd have them come through here. Which really begs the question, why am I even bothering to run steel and copper through this? I don't know. Habit at this point. But yeah, now we can go ahead and make 2 producers of the level 2. And we'll have to maybe do something like this to route it on the correct side. That looks good to me. And that will be level 2 productivity modules. With not enough space because of... oh, they don't actually need to extract here. Now it's here that I was actually going to do it. Vertical flip here. And then change this to one of these. And then you just bop, bop. Oh, again, we need it to be on the close side. Not necessarily an issue immediately, but will be. Cool. Level 2. And then the only trick left is to get blue onto here. And as soon as we do that, we are golden. Now, red was on the top, so technically blue would have to go through here, which already has a belt, underground belt, and is a bit annoying. You can either do it on the outside and just red insert in. Oops, wrong one, actually. That's going to be level 2. Blue insert. Yeah, we just need to basically get the blue in. I would love to put it in here, but as red is on the top, that makes things weird unless we do this, right? So we disconnect this. Do this instead. And then it doesn't matter. Because all it has to do is like that. I like that. Okay. And then the blue... Well, technically now the blue's on the wrong side, but we can fix that, right? We have more space to work with on that. Yeah, so we're just going to do it like here. And then, yeah, I'm thinking... This will work. Okay, cool. A little weird, but it's all good. It goes through, red connects in, everybody's happy. And the final result is... we have the items we are looking for. We drop off a little roboport action right around here somewheres. That'll do it. And then finally, beacon stuff, which, yeah, like I said, probably shouldn't have run through here at all. Probably overly complicated things, but that's a lightning rod. Kind of similar, but no. Red, green, steel, copper. So yeah, indeed, it has absolutely no value being in this line because the red and green isn't even here anymore. So really, I should be pulling like here. Well, I'll just do a red inserter and it'll be fine. Don't need a lot of these, just a handful. Copper cable does need to be processed though. So it's more like here, make copper cable. Apply power. Copper cable goes into here, which pulls from both of these to make beacon. Beacon, beacon. Okay. And red, again, red is a little short, but at the end of the day, we're getting what we need, and it's all good. Why is red short? Well, obviously our increase in red circuit requirements just increased significantly. Luckily, these little chunks aren't harmful. Or the other turret, the backup turret, would have shot them down. Yeah, see, this is so much more balanced. I like having two turrets here, for sure. You just have to be up here less frequently. It's good. Okay. So, red is not, you know, lacking. It's just takes a while. We do have the assembling machine 3, so we might as well upgrade these to the higher level now. I'll just clear a little bit here for right now. And is there a spot on the bar for them? Feels like we've kind of hit our limit here. We don't need grenades anymore, right? Who knows? And then I'll want to really refresh this entire setup, but yeah, for right now we're good. So this stuff isn't working. So these have 4 module slots. Yeah, 4 reds and a lot of like blue beacons would be great, but spacing is still tricky, right? Because it's not really set up for it. We can beacon these 3 one time. I wouldn't hate that. Don't know if that necessarily helps with our ratios, but if we could increase speeds here, and then theoretically productivity module there. We just need a little bit more crafting on the level 2 side. Which, as you can see, we're also crafting a lot of level 1s just for the big assembly machines. Because each of these requires 4. Got it. So in theory, I could also then... Oh yeah, I don't really want to max this out, right? Let's just put it at 4 stacks. In theory, I would also then want the level 1 blues to be pulled off for green assembly machines. But what are the requirements? It's assembly machine 2, so we then need copper, iron, steel, or yeah, and I mean, I kind of have copper iron. What do we need? Just electronic circuits, rather. Okay. Electronic circuit, iron, steel. Because we have iron, steel here. It would just be the green circuit, so we need to bring up. Yeah, I think it's worth doing. We have not made automatic level 3s yet, and I think it's important. So, no, we don't want to put a filter on this. We actually have to do it twice. The second one gets the filter. The first one just splits 50-50. Way normal. Otherwise, this would all only have red, and this one will only have green. All right, in theory, these 2 lines are all that we need for blue assembly machines. It turns into what? Needs green circuits and iron, an iron gear wheel, and then more iron gear wheel. Okay. So, do we need any raw iron plates? Yeah, we do need raw iron plates for that as well. Good to know. So what I'm thinking is I can do something like this. Not quite ready for that. And we'll have it make iron gear wheels. And then we can red inserter onto this if it was on the correct side. I hate that it does. That's one thing I really missed from the other mod that I was playing. It's called Factorio 2. And it did have the ability to change up which side of the belt your insert is placed on. And obviously that removes some shenanigans with the belt mechanics, but like it just felt like a clean solution. It was actually really nice, and it didn't seem like it didn't break my... There was no suspension of disbelief needed. It just kind of felt like that's how it should work with the more advanced technology that you get. Guess just some warning shots here. We're all good. So why did we have... Oh, this was for making... Putting in some materials when we didn't have them. It's just like a little buffer thing. We can get rid of it. Move this over one. But yeah, as far as where we put these now, I think it's going to be more like this. And then we need to just belt it like that. There. Much cleaner. Now we can make assembly machine 1 into assembly machine 2. Of course, you could also do the like side inserter thing. But this is fine. This is... horizontal, oops. Override, and... Well, I guess these have to then more like this. It'll be fine. And this is level 2. And with these moving forward, we should have everything we need. So that makes the level 3. And then, like I was saying, I want to be able to pull from the level 1 speed modules here. perhaps here, just in case. One, 2, and 3, and it's just speed modules, yeah, so... There you go. Everything you'd want. So, make some gear wheels. Turn it into... Yeah, you wouldn't want the iron gear wheel directly to feed directly into Machine 1, because then, in turn, it wouldn't be available for Machine 2. So, it's all important. It's all part of it. And we can speed boost that guy a little bit, because he's got a lot of work ahead of him. Oh, so the red inserter is not fast enough to pull, which is unfortunate. It's fine now. That's really the speed modules that are going to hinder us anyway, since it has just requires so much advanced circuits, and we don't currently have that. Like I said, speed modules here, and then traditionally you would want the red level 2s for the rest of it. Those just aren't happening right now. So, I mean, you could maybe pull some of this. And then that will increase our productivity, which in turn will increase everything else. But, yeah. What's the stack size on these? 20? Yeah, that's good. It's just a priority issue. Like, if I had the whole, like, proper setup with a splitter, that would send it out as needed. But at the end of the day, we really just need to increase our advanced circuit bus, which may mean we backfeed it or something like that. It's all good. This is empty, it looks like. It's all doing its thing. These definitely should go into the robo, or into the rocket parts first, but I think we've loaded up our rockets. What I'm gonna just need to do at a certain point is just copy over all this. This needs iron, copper, and plastic. And we can definitely place this somewhere else past the bus. So that's why I think I'm just gonna do that right now, actually, where I can. Might need some fine tuning, but that'll help us out a lot. And then we'll probably want to also do the same thing with the blue. So, maybe I should have just doubled this up first before I built anything in this area. But too late now. So we could just, in theory, do it here. The only issue being a few... Yeah, we're kind of maxed out on conveyor belts, so we'll just go ahead and bring it to the side a bit. And like I was saying, I think we can horizontal flip this into our blue setup as well, which will be nice. Don't think I copied the full details there, so let's go ahead and... Yeah, I know I have a blueprint for this, but we'll just work with it as is. And so then we just need to pull from the sulfuric acid line, and we'll be good from there. And of course get the actual raw materials down, but... And this really should be the last pieces that we need to really improve scaling and efficiency, and then I think we're just about done here. Again, we could hold down if we're smarter, but we realize that just a little too late. There that goes, and then, yeah, a little more power right here. Cool. Speaking of power, still doing fine. We need to get iron and copper cable on this line. No, we also have a copper cable on this line. Let's see. We had... This is just all copper cable. Okay, I like that. But... you'll see that we just don't have the throughput here for all that. That's where the blue belts come into play. So let's go ahead, see where we put our blue belts in. Seeing some, yeah, there's the only place that it could be right now, since the lubricant isn't really hooked up to anything but electric engine units. So let's head over here and see what we've got to work with. That's fine. Not great, but it's fine. Yeah, copper cable being one of those super inefficient things. In theory, I guess you could even... It might be easier to cast copper cable on site and just have molten copper come down the line. Because you basically have what seems like almost infinite throughput through the pipeline. And it could just... You could just send the molten copper down and then just have the foundry right there, pumping it out. Spends a lot less resource-wise that way. Don't see too much harm in it. Right now we had a kind of a bus of fluids right here. We stopped at a certain point, it seems like. Yeah. So, if we wanted to, we could try to continue that down this way. We did make an L shape here that makes it harder, though. We'd have to go ahead and... I'll just do it myself instead of telling the robots to. That'll slow things down a little bit too much, I think. So yeah, we would want to be able to extend this out. And same here. Meaning we want this to go... one further is fine. No, it's not. Alright, now it all works. And we receive. We'd wanted to desync these, right? At least by 3s. This should be fine. Sure. Yeah, see, that won't go next to it, so you have to kind of give it some more space here. Perfect. Oh, see, that even that won't work. Okay. So it's more like this just needs to be here. Boom. Okay. Okay. We don't really care about the iron right now, but we do want to find space for the copper. Close, but no. What if we did this instead? Let's just put next to solar, and that way we can always grab it easiest. One here, and then one here, I would say. Okay, that works. Yeah, I like the idea of, on Vulcanus in particular, having just a constant flow of pipage for the molten materials. That just allows you to access whatever you need without having to worry about throughputs on belts and so on. It's really nice. All right, and over here we were looking for copper cable. So all you have to do is just bring it to life or pipe it off. Let's just say pipe it off for now. To the side. Then how big are the foundries, I guess, is a question. What you can do is probably here. No, one here and then one here. Both bulk inserting on. And some off to what I believe was like a half position on here with plastic, which we'll have to bring over as well. So this gets to be casting copper cable. And there you go. I don't know, I always like the visual more. I don't know if this is completely unnecessary, but the visual more of filling in both these lines. I know it doesn't make any difference in function, but a little bit in form. So we'll see if that is enough. We can always, you know, bring in 2 more right here. Up here we did have 3 producing. So it's quite possible that we already ratioed this and we need to do 1 here. Which might be more like this. Cool. And then we have plastic coming off the bus. And I recognize I could have just, you know, grabbed the copper and, you know, sewed it together. But I like utilizing the molten method where I can. And now we have this as an option to go alongside the bus. We'll just rotate it alongside that horizontal belt bus is a horizontal fluid bus. Embracing the future. Alrighty, so you can just go ahead and say right around here that we're good to then clear out some inventory spots and go from there. Yeah, so the green should be on the belt here. Everything should work. The only thing we're still missing is iron. Cool. Iron, I suppose we could do more with if we change this up here. Allowing us to then extend this further. And escape it right here. Which then we'll have to make sure is on the inside. So just to keep this clean, I'll go ahead and do this. And then, yeah, it's on a weird thing where like that, right? But same thing over here. But now it's on, gotta be on the other side. I think I can do this. Cool. Alrighty. And everything works. Everything's magnificent. Green chips away. Alright, all this to say, if we want more of these level 3 sewing machines, then we're going to need to route some stuff back, because it looks like we are going to be short on red, right? Yeah, red is not looking great. So red is coming out here on this line in theory. What we can do with it is bring it all the way back up, past the bus, and then reinsert. A supply depot, if you will. Why is that not long enough now? Batteries are not part of the plan. They're just kind of hanging out. So it's before all the splitting right here that we actually need to reinsert. So what we can do is once again tell batteries that they need to stop that. I'm sure it's fine, right? Totally. And then we just go right up here. Easy. And I believe this inserts it here. Perfect. Marvelous. And now we have a new supply of red that we can add to that set, all the needs up here, which are quite substantial. In the meantime, yeah, we'll want to make sure we're making some good red production 2, productivity 2 modules. Man, it does consume a lot to make that happen, but we got it. And then I did put beacons here without filling them with anything. Can I pull some speed twos? It looks like we don't have them, so would have to put the red into those directly as well. Alrighty. Well, getting there bit by bit. Some extra progress. As we can continue to improve this, we want to try to make things more efficient. Gonna go ahead and start with the silos though, since those do cost a lot of material. We want the full productivity set up for these. One more to go, and then we'll be good for that. And that's right here. Okie dokie. Interesting. Are they not in the logistics system, or is there some other reason that's just not viable? Let's see. Yeah, it currently does not seem like they are, so let me just check. This is just not the right kind of chest, that's all. Okay. So these are missing material. We need to speed up these green chip manufacturers. Yeah, I guess like an upgrade planner would be nice here. To just say all of these will one day become yellow. For now, they are what they are. Because they don't stop when they're marked for upgrading. They're just, you know, ready to be something more. Anywho, our beacon count is very good, so we should be able to then, I'll go ahead and put a snapshot here for that. We can then, yeah, try to start filling these up as needed and increase our overall production of all this stuff. It'll be beautiful. These all threes? That's very nice, actually. Okay. So this is not quite doing it. And the reason would be because these aren't getting the materials. They need the same thing that those get. Could we wrap it around? I think I prefer that, personally, instead of doing it twice. So we'll just say right here. So they're off to the races too. They're doing great. And then in theory, I could also do this. Again, once the blues are actually in play, which we're getting there. We're getting there. More chips, more chips, more chips. Chip sale in the morning. There's two things I could do. Either I run this all the way back up. So I can do either a splitter here with input priority from the right, actually. And that way these guys are covering all the blues that are being taken for modules. Oh god, or we destroy everything. Is this bad? This looks bad. Yeah, it looks bad. Okay, carry on. And don't do that anymore. So if we do that, it'll be fine. I think we were just doing it here, right? So we're doing this. And we're just, yeah, input priority for when there are plenty of blues here. And that'll cover the module needs, which we've got pretty well covered. And these guys aren't really operating anyways because our greens are... A couple of them are a little slow, but the main thing is it looks to be copper cable. I don't think this whole setup was rated for that much copper cable. There's not a lot of gaps, but there's enough that we'd want to go ahead and do this as well. Fortunately, don't have the same option for how to break it down here. So what we can do is go ahead and just destroy this entirely. Destroy this entirely. Rotate this here. And then just send it across. Okay, so that increases a little bit of what we have going on. But I would like to go ahead and just upgrade all of this. And that way we have, you know, ideally maximum throughput. And if we need to do a third setup, then that's what we'll do. Just to make sure we have the right quantities. Looks like this is a little awkward with this guy. Not sure if we could just put it here and here. It looks fine to me. And then again, we could always move this up here. Yeah, kind of a little bit guess and check to see if it's actually filling the line or not. Since it's not, we're going to go ahead and go one more time here. Bam, all the way across. Suppose it can be red. He'll catch up with the blues here. Yeah, as long as these two are blue, I think this is fine. And still having some issues here. We'll go ahead and run the blue a little further down. See if that helps anything. End of the day, we're just consuming a lot, and it can be hard to keep up with that demand. Because this is a full line of blue at this point, and it's just not covering it. We just have a lot of copper needs in this particular area. And short of like putting a foundries in the middle of this operation, you're really needing to just make multiple blue belt inputs and then like add it as a like a resupply to this area here, which is doable but a huge pain. But it's kind of weird because it like nullifies a lot of what we have going on if we can't get those resources out. Sometimes some people have just robots do it, and that ends up just consuming a lot of both processing power on the computer end as well as just energy and resources with the logistic bots floating about like crazy. But, you know, it is a way to have, since they don't have collision or anything, near infinite amounts of resources able to be added to a certain location. So if that was a big problem for us, then we could always adjust, but as is, yeah, I'm trying to think like if we could just do some, because like this guy is like stopping, this guy's stopping, so I'm thinking that if we do a bit of underground here, okay, the orbiter requires a quick restock. Good time to check in on that. Make sure everything is going fine and dandy up in Spaceland. Speaking of, I think we are going to be wrapping it up pretty soon here. Don't want the episode to go on too long, but yeah, we also want to get ourselves in a good position to come out strong the next one. So what if we did something like more like this? We put a gap of a few units here for this guy, and then we do something like this. Actually, more like this, I think is the best way to go about it. We can set this up here, then do a blue underground here. Blue underground here. So that, obviously the input is flush on this one. But in theory, would allow us to then split off of this instead of how we're doing it currently. We could actually have a blue splitter here, and then either do belt weaving, which I kind of shy away from because it's weird and I don't know why it bugs me actually, but I like the idea that the factory, even though it is clearly fiction, it might like technically be geometrically possible. So anyways, I was thinking more like this here. These things can stretch pretty far, can't they? It's interesting. Well, now we're just like not pulling as much as we were a moment ago. There's actually plenty of copper because there's plenty of green. I wonder why that is. I guess it was just like trying to work as fast as possible to fill the belt, fill the demand of all the subsequent machines as well. And once it got to that point, it realized like it's actually kind of okay. Apparently these blue inserters aren't even fast enough. Is this double blue? And it's just like, nah, we are speed modulating level 3, so it's kind of big. I'm not sure if I need 2 bulk inserters. Maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, let's just try this. Oops. Interesting. Oh, that might have been a mistake. There we go. Get these cables out of here. What are these up and down ones supposed to be? Oh, I didn't butcher something. Oh, calcite. Okay. Don't need to worry about that. And then I just did a horizontal flip, which copied it twice. Interesting. Well, there you go. These guys are lacking copper. Because I just destroyed it. And the intention was to just put it back like this. Okay. Well, potentially all the nonsense that I was about to do is not necessary if it actually fills out cleanly. We'll see. We can have this on reserve as an idea for how we can force more cables down this line if we absolutely have to, but currently we're looking to just let it flow. See if that's enough. As they all catch up and they all stop taking from each other, it should work out, in theory. And then we'll just add more beacons and require more demand and have to figure it out all over again. Should be interesting. I mean, you look at like these greens, for example, they're taking 14.2 copper cables per second, creating 5 electronic circuits per second. And then, yeah, it's just everything scales a bit differently. Go ahead and mark this for a quick upgrade. And then if we have it, grab some of this, and ideally some of these. They do seem to be struggling to get the level 1s. So I was about to try to assembly machine 3, the level 1s, but I needed the level 1s to get the assembly machine 3. Wait, this is just being weird. Oh, I need a filter, don't I? Isn't this what you want, though? This is a speed module 2. I can't see the second dot somehow. But yeah, we'll just filter this to speed module 1. Clear this line out. Okay, there it is. Now it'll work. Alright, materials flowing. Trying to get the red there. Do we prioritize this? I think so. I mean, it's not like it's going anywhere to the south anyway, so it doesn't make too much of a difference, but I do want to just hit output. There's some that it doesn't feel necessary, like a 50-50 split will always do it, but this might actually consume more than, will definitely consume more than 50% of what's being fed into it at all times. So good notes to make. More red is what I'm seeing. Just more requests for more red. These beacons would not fit, so we would have to do some underground belting. But more importantly, we have no plastic down this far. And that's because our plastic per minute is just not keeping up, it looks like. So our plastic comes from all the way over here. These guys are going pretty well nonstop, but we can go ahead and beacon those instead. So I have beacons, I have modules. Let's do it. I have really not gotten to this stage of the game before. Doing like large-scale beacon work, I think I mentioned before, has not really been my thing, and it didn't feel necessary. But I also didn't get to a point where like I was mega basing or anything like that, so it didn't. I just launch the rocket, mess around a little bit, and then call it good. Okay, it's not because it's not an intermediary. It should be an intermediary. I'm apparently just clicking the wrong buttons. All right. Sometimes you do that. Okay, so we got productivity. And then we can drop a beacon. Do we have... I feel like we should have some here. I can just take trains off and keep my dedicated train bar. And then... yeah, either have one right here. I think is okay. And then have one right here. I think those two will be happy to expedite the process. I don't want that. Yeah, okay, it won't take it if it's full. Cool. Alrighty, so now we're seeing much more in terms of that output, but we are also seeing red inserters just being slow, which is... not ideal. It's always like it's just like a series of different bottlenecks. And unfortunately, petroleum has to come in on one side or another. I guess you don't have to... one coal makes two plastics. So in theory, the coal should be flowing from this side and the plastic should be going out the other. If you want... can't I just move everything south one and that will do it? We will see. I'm gonna try it. Okay, so this is where it's at. This is where it will be. And then we just have to remove these pipes. We will have to refix our petroleum there in a moment. But otherwise, what we can then do is rotate these. And then these guys can be the red ones instead. And these guys will be blue ones. I guess I should maybe vertical flip that, or I don't know. Coal goes in. Modules go out. Not modules, plastic. Oh god. This is always the trick. Is these chests that apparently I can't access. I don't know. I want to help guys, but it won't let me. Yeah, I guess if I can just... whatever. They're almost there. They got it. Cool. There we go. I can handle that. The big stack's a little bit faster right now. But anywho. We would want then the petroleum to just have a small little change over here. They're noisy little robots. A little bit annoying here. For a few reasons, I would say. But you can always just do this, right? Now we're good. And here. This is just really not set up for it, is it? I mean, this can back up for sure. And then that'll work. Okay. Alright, they're all online. They now have a proper setup, and plastic will flow. Small interruption, but ends up being rather important. And if we want... Oh yeah, the whole idea was to increase the output here. And then do we want double-sided plastic? Will that mess anything up if we have that? Because like this, for example, would block off the copper cable. I mean, 30 items per second. How much were we trying to make before? Yeah, that would be 15 per second. We didn't double the speed, but we definitely improved it. No, I mean, it's kind of double, actually. I think we will need both sides of the belts. So that would be... So this guy doesn't fit. Put it on the right side. Thought he would, but it's been a little while. Well, let's do it like this. If we, like, set it up to the south, I think right here, even like this would be fine. Then we can then wrap it here, and now it all works. All right. Using both sides of the belt, again, will cause issues once that copper cable moves out of the way. So we will have to double check how we've set it up and make sure we're not... Like, this is only pulling. It's not a problem. But if there's other material interactions, you gotta be careful. So if right here, you'd want to... Let's just do this. And now it'll be good. It's a little weird looking, but it's fine. And then down here, this one's already good. And then keep it moving further along, further down, further down. We've pulled plastic here. This one's fine too. And the last of it will go along and be good. Okay, cool. We now have double line plastic, and it should be flowing more cleanly. One little improvement at a time. You know, once we actually have like the full setup with large supply scaling, then, you know, we can do a lot more. But honestly, the throughput of just these small sub-factories is pretty high. So I'm pretty happy with it. Still a few things to work out, but the main thing is getting the plastic where it needs to be, which is going to be happening more readily as all the ones that were backed up are caught back up. So I think all of these red assembly machines are about to be back online. And from there, we could also probably do something like this. It's got to be one or the other, right? Okay, let's do this. And then we can also, yeah, start upgrading and start expanding on the modules as well. They're the most likely to be empty, so we'll go ahead and take care of the blue productivity module manufacturers, or the blue chip manufacturers with their productivity modules. But plenty more where that came from as things improve. For now, any more assembly machine ones that we need to upgrade, looking pretty good, I'd say. We can go ahead and upgrade these, which will in turn allow us to get more assembly machines. So, always nice. So this guy is always going to be snatching it first. He gets first dibs, and the slower inserter gets it later. I could always move this over to the right one and do some like belting, and that wouldn't harm anything. It just comes down to which one needs more priority right now. I think probably that's the best play. So we'll do that. It goes on a belt here. Boom. And yep, we'll just make it yellow, make it all yellow. So it goes from a 0.75 craft speed to a 1.25, and just allows us to do more. Very happy with that. We upgraded the ones down there. Everything's looking good, and we're living in the future. All right, well, I think that will do it for the episode. We've made some nice little adjustments. We are flush with our rocket supplies for new rocket parts. We can begin sending everything up to the orbiter, which will then be getting ready for its voyage back to Novice towards the beginning of the next episode. So we're going back to Novice. We are going to be taking our orange science packs with us, and we are going to be researching the new technologies that only Vulcanus can provide. So I'm excited about it. Hope you are too. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and hopefully you'll get a chance to check out the next one. Of course, once again, you can choose to like, comment, or subscribe. That'll let you, at least a couple of those options will let you see more of the content in the future, whether in your feed or what have you. So until next time, thank you all so much, and let the factory grow.